Okay, so we're back for part 2 of the Blake Lively text messages that we're going through. Part 1 was a lot. We learned so much. Taylor Swift already knew about the dragon text messages, the Khaleesi text message that Lively sent to Baldoni. That was a new one because the news stories were just like, oh no, she didn't know what happened. She felt betrayed and used and all this stuff. And I'm just going to I'll just share this. This was a news headline from the 11th of May 2025. Just really quickly. This was one of the news headlines that come out when the kind of the text messages and everything, the Brian Friedman affidavit and all that come out. But the evidence shows she knew the whole time, which is just wild, and actually supported it. She even supported it. So, okay. Now we have Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, 4th of April 2023 into the 5th of April. Lively, so exciting about Brandon. Just to recap, in her PGA letter, she claims credit for hiring Brandon Sklenar, who didn't want the role. And she managed to get him to accept the role because she personally sent him a letter or something like that. So just to remember that and refresh ourselves. Lively, looking forward to diving. Lively, so excited about Brandon. Great work. Who's she complimenting? Looking forward to diving into the script with you and getting back to work next week. Baldoni, anyone you know, have wanted to work with, we should take a shot at. And then there's someone's redacted. Manager said not for her. Lively, from this list, redacted and redacted, even though she's tiny. And I'm not sure for redacted, but I'm such a fan that I'm still mentioning. Redacted is on the no, but I'm not sure what that category means. Okay. Baldoni, so happy to hear that redacted is who I would like to go to. Not sure either on no, I'll check. I'll ask about redacted early on, and I asked about redacted early on, and they told me long shot. Lively, loved that message. Baldoni, Brandon closed. We have our atlas. And then it's just a bunch of emojis from Lively. Baldoni, he's really good. You guys will be fire. Just hired intimacy coordinator who I love. We'll set you up to meet FaceTime with her next week for intro. Lively, I feel good. I can meet her when we start. Thank you though. Baldoni, hey, because I don't have Instagram, can you text me the ones you like? I can't open some of them in the browser. And there's something about cakes. I don't know what that's about. Okay. Okay. Blake Lively messages. These are 24th of April to the 25th between Lewis, someone, and Blake Lively. I do not know who Lewis is. Sorry. Okay. Oh, so these messages are after the actual meltdown over Justin Baldoni having the audacity to tell Taylor Swift that he hasn't listened to much of her music and he doesn't understand pop culture. Because that was in part 1, right? Those messages between Taylor Swift and Blake Lively were in part 1. And my God, I still can't wrap my head around how badly Blake Lively took it that someone suggested to Taylor Swift that he wasn't familiar with her work. She even said it's worse than anything he's done to me, which is wild. If you haven't watched part 1, honestly, I recommend going watching it. It's eye-opening. All right. So, yeah, lively. I've no idea what that emoji is. Something for the win. Oh, is it bagels? Oh, it looks like a bagel emoji for the win. Tompkins Square delivers, and their everything as well as French toast bagel. Thank you so much for the sweet message. That photo was from a year ago. Wish it was what I looked like. I actually had my director co-star call my trainer today to ask what I'll weigh in 2 weeks when we shoot, because he's worried about his back and bone density and wants to be sure he's okay to lift me up for our sex scenes. I've committed to only eating bagels from now on, also. He's an actual donkey. I'm ranting about strangers. Lewis, I'm sorry, what? Literally, what the fuck? Who the F is your director? Who the F is your co star? How is this okay? How are these two still allowed to be in the same room as you and not seriously called to the table? You need to thank fucking God that they have you and not anyone else. More gorgeousness packed into one human, and it would still take 6 others to fill one of your shoes. Please, dear God, tell me who these people are. But if out of respect you feel you shouldn't. So, no, I will know very soon and will enjoy planning what can be subtly said in the future where they would have no idea. What? Why are people so deranged? Like, Blake Lively actually admits, well, yeah, he called us about what I'll weigh in 2 weeks because he has. I mean, she's misframing that. She knows. She's saying he's worried about his back and bone density, and the way she's framing that is he's worried that I'm going to break his back. I'm so fucking heavy. That's not what's happened here. She knows fine well that he's got back problems, and she probably should have worded it better to say, "Oh no, he's got existing back problems." But it doesn't suit her narrative to do that. And this guy is like taking it completely the wrong way. But honestly, the meltdown from people, the meltdown. Hollywood is just a whole cesspit of narcissism and egos. Oh, it's gross. All right. Okay. Um, these are text messages from Lewis and Blake Lively, 25th. I haven't just read these, have I? No, these are new ones. Okay. Lively. And I know you feel enraged at a stranger. Shouldn't feel good, but damn it did. What? She's encouraging this. It was strangely healing. He's a bag of hot gas, but he still made me feel bad and very upset. Even though I know he's a clown, it still hurts. So thank you for circling your wagons around me. I'll send you his Instagram. He is so cringe. He got the rights to this massive book. He cast himself to star and direct. I chose to bet on him. I also own a huge piece of the movie. What? I also own a huge piece of the movie. So I'm having to bet on myself. What's she on about? She owns a huge piece of the movie. But yikes, that gave me a crisis of confidence. I had a 3-hour meeting with him today. He got it loud and clear, but still, being a woman in this industry. Always back to the sex card, for fuck's sake. For your cringe pleasure. And then she sends him what I'm assuming is Justin Baldoni's Instagram. Lewis, oh my God. I cannot watch him. He is a liar and a fake, and he is full of shit. So full of shit. I mean, his message here, where he's come to the conclusion that he's a liar and fake and full of shit, comes 25 minutes after she sends him the Instagram. So in 25 minutes, we have formed this conclusion, have we? Okay, I am done. You will be the reason this film gets made and works, not him. It's a movie, not a soundbite, and he will quickly realize that he'll need you tremendously to take him through this. Just wait. He will have his meltdown because he's going to realize he isn't all that, and he will have to rely on you. He will have his meltdown while this guy is saying that, having a meltdown. And when that happens, please, dear God, gloat to me. Lively's encouraging this. She's encouraging it. That's so well said. It's a movie, not a soundbite. He had a bit of a meltdown today when I told him, I need nothing from you on this film as an actor or director. I'm good. I've got me. I only need one thing from you, not to make me feel like shit. I don't even need you to make me feel confident. I've got that. I mean, her messages, didn't I? In part one, I actually empathized with her because she really wasn't coming across as confident. I only need the bare minimum for you. Just don't make me feel like shit. That's your only job. I got the rest. I bet this is all bullshit. He audibly sobbed. It was the performance of a lifetime. Original movie. Lewis, I wish I'd been in the room. Yes, yes, yes. He has no idea what's getting ready to hit him. And I bet his wife is dealing with a totally different person than he professes to be on IG. Methinks you have a bit of a narcissist on your head. Are you fucking joking? I even heard the pair of you. But I think you got it covered. Again, please gloat when it happens. Lively. Do you know how happy that would have made me if you were in the room? This man is terrified of women. His wife, my God, I keep imagining that I'm going to have to ask her to blink twice if she needs to be extracted. I will gloat. Thank you for reminding me that we have permission to do so. I'll share any good ones with you. And yes, you called it narcissist beyond. I'm not a unicorn, as he has so often been said. Dear God. God. So Blake Lively and Taylor Swift. The 4th of what is this? Oh, these is the dates the other way around. God, or is it not? No. I'm going to say this is the 4th of December 2024 to the 5th of December 2024, but it confuses me because we've just been working on April text messages, and to me, this is like the British format for an April date. Okay. Okay, so Blake Lively. Hey, just checking in. I have no reason to ask, but I don't know. I've been feeling like I should. Is everything okay? I feel like a bad friend lately because I was such a sad sack who only talked about my own shit for months. You were generous to not only be the key person there for me during all of it, but also to let me off the hook for being so in it. But I still have a feeling something may not be right. I told Ryan. He said to just ask you, but I felt so stupid and like it sounded needy and awkward for everyone, especially because I can't explain why I have this feeling. And, I have toxic masculinity. So I can't be needy. Is she admitting she has toxic masculinity here? But also, I do want to know everything is good, so I'm asking. Is this why, actually, just going back to toxic masculinity, is this why she hates Justin Baldoni? Because he tries to, tear down toxic masculinity, and she is the poster person for toxic masculinity. I'm spitballing thoughts. Okay. But also, I do want to know everything is good, so I'm asking. I always want the opportunity to be a better friend if there is something I unintentionally did. I know how busy and taxed you are, physically, emotionally, and practically, so I don't expect any more from you ever. Just want to make sure all is good. Taylor, no, you're not wrong, but it's also not a big deal. I think I'm just exhausted in every avenue of my life, and in recent months I've been feeling a little bit of a shift in the way you talk to me. Yes, there has been a lot of the Justin stuff, but I've been through things like this before, and I know how all-consuming it is. It's more like, and I feel really bad saying anything about this because your texts have been so nice in their intent, but your last few, it's felt like I was reading a mass corporate email sent to 200 employees. You said the word we like 18 times. And it feels awful to be in any way critical of any way you process what you've been going through. But I just kind of miss my funny, dark, normal speaking friend. Normal speaking? Who talks to me as herself, not like a plural unit. When it's a group I'm hearing from, I feel distanced from you, even more than we are geographically. And I know you feel attacked from all sides for ridiculous reasons. So you're feeling like you have to overly explain things or be overly nice or whatever. But it's me. That's just caused a little distance. And you don't need to apologize. Just come back, please. Lively. Dear valued customer, thank you for your feedback. We at headquarters are reviewing your concerns and we'll get back to you in a timely manner. For real though, you're right. I literally deleted the awful thing. I was going to end that bit with because I've become digitally paranoid. I don't know if you've experienced that with phone calls after what happened to you, but after the thousands of text messages that weren't meant for me that I've been reading, I've internalized that everything digital may be public. She's talking about Jen Abel's text messages. I say that knowing it's irrational, but my brain can't accept rationale there. So yeah, I've been texting like I'm writing, not like me talking. I didn't realize that until you pointed it out, but I see it. On top of that, I'm over packaging simple things because I felt so deeply misunderstood that I don't trust my judgment of myself anymore. That sounds over the top, but it's true. This fucking guy and what he did to me gave me an identity crisis legitimately. The thing that spooked me most in all this, though, wasn't the bad guys being bad guys, it was the good guys, my lifelong friends, allies to women who quietly dipped. And so I'm probably being over the top with my friends who stayed because I've never felt more alone. The track is very violin heavy. I hate it. Point is, I'm being a stupid, paranoid weirdo. No one's going to disagree. And felt it, but didn't know where or how or when. So thank you for telling me and for saying I don't need to apologize and for not making it a big deal, but I am sorry to you. And I'm sorry to me and to our kids. Fuck that guy and fuck his whole gaggle of supervillains. You've got enough on you. You don't need to write back to all this. Just letting you know, I see it now. And thank you. I'm excited for you to be done with suitcases, constant sinus infections, and torn up kneecaps. So close. Your submission will be processed shortly. We thank you again for your patronage, Blakel Inc. Taylor, first paragraph took me out. Blake, if I only sent you out the unplugged version. I sent you a voice memo, but it doesn't show on our thread, which is really helping my case of not trusting phones. Did it go through? Taylor, yes, I'm just falling asleep, but we'll listen tomorrow. Love you. Blake, it's the length of a mini-series. Sleep. Love you. And then the next day, Taylor, I think this bitch knows something is coming because he's gotten out his tiny violin. Okay. Lively. It rings different when he doesn't end the story by saying, did I always listen when they said no? No. Like he did with me. But that must not have tested well in the focus group. He's being honoured at the Vital Voices for Women event on Monday. Taylor, this is so disgusting and I hate that he's clever about this shit. Like, this inspiring event celebrates men who are using their platforms, influence, and leadership to elevate women, combat gender-based violence, and promote gender equality worldwide. Taylor, well, not him, her. He's not. He just has a team. Yeah, her. And his publicist, Jen Abel. And the comms people at his studio. Taylor, he needs to be beaten down by his own words. Blake, everyone weighs in before we respond to a text, writes an email, or trims his hair. It's wild. Everyone participates. Blake, yeah, I actually think it's important he's honoured. And to all the people honouring him and not taking a moment to question, no one talks to him, no one will say his name, no one follows him, yet they are all close with each other. Maybe it was him. Nah, it was the women because they wore flowers. That's how you know. Taylor, Jesus Christ. Is everything still on track? Lively. Oh, yes. A week later, though, but worth the wait. I will categorically bet that they are talking about the New York Times article. And I will categorically bet that the metadata that I discovered, the October 31st metadata, was absolutely spot on. Taylor, oh, that's perfect. His own words, that's going to be powerful. Lively. That's what's wild about this entire thing. Everything is in their own words. Taylor, it's the only way to beat liars and hypocrites. Blake, can you imagine feeling as confident as these predators that you're going to always get away with it? Him accepting an award as an ally for women, and Scooter going about the world with his head held high as he co-owns and funds a crisis PR company that silences women. Taylor, it's like a horror movie no one knows is taking place. Lively. Oh, but they will. It's the only thing that can come of this, the good that protects other women from this happening to them. Meanwhile, I walk around feeling death sentence guilty and apologetic for being sarcastic and like in a theme party. Okay, is that all she thinks she did? Okay, so this is text messages between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, 26th of May, 2023. Oh, it's just the one, actually. Justin. Blake, I'm so sorry to hear you and baby are sick. I know it's literally the last thing you needed right now on top of a tough week. I pray it comes and goes with mild symptoms and more than anything that he is okay. If you feel up for it, I'm here absolutely anytime and would love to check in. I know this week was a lot and I'm committed to making things run smoother across the board. Okay. I have no idea. I can't even read that. It doesn't even say who it's to or from. I mean, it's these are like Blake Lively's. They look like someone. These are notes. Strategic framework. How to run the something for efficiency. Something I don't know. First AD. Amateur director. First AD producer. It is almost impossible. Jamie naked wife. JB inappropriate comments to me and others. Is this Blake Lively's writing? It's diabolical. Scheduling 3.5 after something. Wrap you to go to a Taylor Swift concert. Chemistry and camaraderie. Ugh. I mean, strategic framework for how to run the set for something. I don't know. These are Blake Lively's notes. So it's the first AD at the top. Amateur. Got director, first AD, producer, / I can make out then Jamie naked wife, JB inappropriate comments to me and others. Scheduling 3.5 something after something. Wrap you to go to a Taylor Swift concert. Good God. Well, these are notes from someone. Just go back actually, see if I can make out. These are, it says Blake Lively here. It's her exhibit. It may be a message that she's received from someone. I don't know. It could. It is nonsensical. If anyone can make any sense of that more than I did, please mention it in the comments. Also, just while I'm thinking out loud and talking about comments, I'm aware that people are leaving comments on the messages on the videos I'm uploading. There are a lot of videos that are coming out bang, bang, bang. There is, the best part of about 600 to 700 exhibits that I'm trying to get through. I won't ignore the comments at all. I will be responding. So please don't think that if you haven't, because normally I'm immediate with my response. If you think that I haven't, you're worried that because I haven't responded, you're not going to get a response. You will get a response. I'm just trying to get through some of this. It's crazy. It's just so much to get through. And I want to get through it as quickly as possible because, you all know by now how fast paced this docket is with stuff being uploaded, motions being filed, and things getting filed with it. And then you're trying to keep on top of it. And this is one of, I think, about 14 dockets that I'm kind of covering. Most of them are related to this one case, but there's other cases such as, the Candace Owens and Macron case, and I will be doing the Russell Brand case when that gets going. I do keep an eye on the Without a Crystal Ball case as well against 7M and Robert Shin. I don't really do too much on it, but I do help other channels a little bit with making sense of the court documents. So there is an awful lot that I'm doing. And I think I feel really guilty that I've not responded to comments yet, but I will do it. So yeah. Okay, so these are messages between Ange Giannetti and Blake Lively, dated 26th into the 27th of May 2023. Blake, I'm happy for you to tackle the first AD if you're willing. We need a very experienced leader to run that set ASAP, or we won't get the movie. Our lead producer slash studio has never worked on a film set before in his life. You're talking about Jamie Heather. It's irrefutable that we are lacking experienced leaders at the top, and the days are showing it. Let's start with the first AD and tackle the other leadership issues next. This is most pressing. Thank you for stepping in. This has been too much to hold alone. I really appreciate it. Giannetti, understood. We'll get into first AD now. Lively, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so that is Lively getting the first AD fired. In fact, I might go back to that handwritten message. Just see, is this potentially... Because it seems to be a written... Yeah, producer slash studio. So this looks like it's notes. And this was sent the day before those messages. Has she sent them to... Is this Blake Lively's notes and she sent them to Ange Giannetti? Because that looks like it might be what's happened. Or I don't know, because I don't think it's... Is it notes that Ange Giannetti potentially took then, following the phone call with Blake Lively? She made notes and then took a photo of them and sent them to Blake Lively. It could be either one of those. It's hard to know. Okay. Alex Sachs and Blake Lively, the 4th of June. Alex Sachs, absolutely no pressure, but let me know if you want to speak with our new AD today. Otherwise, you'll meet him and his second in the morning. Their names are Alex Finch and George Lambert. Lively, I can meet him tomorrow, thank you, though. Sachs, of course. They are hyper-communicative, know how to run a show, and have great attitudes. I'm excited for this new energy. Lively sense praying hands. I hate changes. I hate people losing their job. Well, you facilitated it. In fact, Alex Sachs also wanted to get rid of this first AD, Julie Bloom. So between the two of them, this is why they're so excited about this, because they both wanted to get rid of that first AD. Lively, separately, I'm looking forward to this running more efficiently. Sachs, totally agree on both fronts. Lively, it's not hard to feel the personal, but it is business. I hope they're okay. Did we lose anyone beyond 1 and 2? Sachs, it's a necessity. I know, that is exactly how I feel. I think they're upset, but we'll be fine. The second as well. All the PAs are staying. Okay. Okay, so we have messages between Jenny Slate and Blake Lively, 28th to 29th of May 2023. Slate, hi. I hope you're feeling better and that little baby is also doing okay. My manager spoke to Ange and went through the general points of the unprofessional behavior. I can't see this. And the feeling that I have that it's affecting the work. She said Ange wants to speak with me too, which I'm happy to do. I did end up telling my manager the whole deal. It's just all of the weird shit that Justin and Jamie have pulled. But now I'm hoping that wasn't an overstep, and I actually don't know how deep she went into those details. I'm going to speak with Alex tomorrow, and I'm going to tell her about my own discomfort and feelings of being pretty unsettled and certainly distracted from my own work. That said, if you don't want me to, I don't need to. I don't want to make anything hard on you, and if you're ever just wanting to take a moment to see how it feels when you're back on set, I get that. Sorry for the literal novel. This last text is very long. Lively. Oh, good. I think it's great she spoke to Ange, because I haven't spoken to Justin or Jamie or Alex about the inappropriate behaviour yet. You can just speak to what you've witnessed and experienced. I told Ange, but I asked her not to mention so that I could personally tackle, since I have to try to salvage some degree of chemistry and camaraderie with Justin, who's not only my director but love interest, and we're not even a third of the way done. Slate. Okay, I totally get that. I'll keep it with me. My concerns about needing leadership, the remark about my wardrobe, but I'll just keep it with me. It's more to let her know that I'm uneasy and that I don't want it to get worse, and how freaked out that recording sitch made me feel. Okay, so she weren't happy about Justin Baldoni recording a Zoom. Lively. But whatever you felt or seen, 100%, feel free, please. I just think there needs to be leadership. I mean, even him recording our conversation on his phone without asking us first, it's alarming behavior. Leadership, big time. There we go. So just pitching, oh, this place needs leadership. You were standing there for the thing he said to me when he said I look hot. I said that's not what I'm going for, and he said okay, sexy. And then he made a joke once he asked if he crossed the line, and I said yes, he must have missed the sexual harassment meeting. And then later when you said you used to stare at Britney Spears' midsection for hours before you finished and said what an athlete she was and how remarkable she seemed as a young girl, he jumped in and said same and giggled, and then I rolled when we just looked at him, etc., etc. What? So Jenny Slate was talking about how she gawped at Britney Spears' midsection for hours. Lively. It's all just too fast and loose. Slate. Yes, exactly. Those two are perfect examples. The first one, an example of a total overstep, an unwanted comment. The second is such a great example of how I just feel inclined to shut down because I don't want to invite any other comments from him. It's just gross and stupid. Oh, so it's okay for her to say that she was, staring at another woman's midriff for hours, but when Justin Baldoni said same, that felt uncomfortable. That was a problem. If we're talking about, because they're saying, well, he's doing all these things to me because of my gender, right? That's what the crux of this is, and that's the sexual harassment component. Is Justin Baldoni is doing these things to me, and it's because of my gender, right? It's gendered, but they're basically saying that it's okay for them to do stuff, but he can't do it because he's a man. So honestly, who's being gendered here? And I got to laugh at the second example here when Jenny Slate says, "I now just feel inclined to shut down." But when Jamie Heath said, "Oh God, you got to be careful what you say nowadays," you can't say anything on set. When Jamie Heath was expressing that he was feeling shut down. Like they just added that to the complaint and said, "Oh, look, see, it's retaliation. It's happiness. It's evidence that they were harassing me." I mean, the hypocrisy is it's absolutely wild. Wild. Slate continues, "I'll let you know how it goes. I want her to know that I just don't want my work to suffer and I don't want to feel weird. I'm going to meet her at noon. I think face to face is best. Just generally I like normal face to face conversations. But I also want her to understand that while I want her to voice concerns, I also just want to be able to finish out my work and not make it awkward. I think it's best to let her know. But again, if you feel like it's too much, I don't need to say anything except my feelings about the recording incident and my anxiety about the WGA stuff." It's like, "I'm running through my head now. All of the things that I've said that I shouldn't have said, like maybe I somehow opened the door. I can certainly run blue in my own comments about my own life, and now I wish I'd never said anything." She can run blue in her about she can certainly run blue in her own comments about her own life. "I'm going to try to snooze now, but let me know if there's anything you're thinking." Lively, "I think you say, oh, it's a combination. The difference is, if someone said something to one of us, if we made them uncomfortable, neither of us would behave the way he does. That's what's odd. He keeps referencing it, or disconnects entirely, or gets snippy and impatient as a director. He was so happy after the sexy thing. I felt awful for saying anything. It's that on top of Jamie being a total goof with no boundaries or respect for the work. He treats the set like a barbecue. Like a what? What the fuck does that mean? What you said, though, is very self aware. Neither of us are people who can't take a joke, who can't work or understand blue. We're not that fragile. You just can't record people without asking. Yeah, Claire Ayub. You can't speak to people sexually while not in character or while talking about the character. And if you overstep, you move on. It's the weirdness after that makes it feel bad. Like if we speak up, the vibes on set get funky and the work suffers. It's all so fragile. It doesn't need to be. Just focus on the work and let's have a good time. It doesn't need to be funky. We're not the fragile ones. Remember that. Stephanie Jones would disagree. Last thing, I hope to God your phone is on airplane mode. I think it's important that you mention the Airbnb situation and how Jamie made you feel after. Also, the second-rate citizen thing. It's also messy and unnecessary. Let's just focus on the work. What does she mean, second-rate citizen thing? I don't understand that. I still don't understand this Airbnb. Giving extra money to get somewhere better. Like what? I don't know. This is confusing. They think you're spooked about the WGA and improvising, etc. They don't see it's their behaviour, not the work. The work is the best part when we actually get to do it well. They're going to seize up, and they're only going to do script if they think the issue is the WGA. They think it's the strike that's freaking you out because they've said it before. Slate, good morning. I had a billion dreams about last night. Super chill. Anyway, yeah, I agree about just mentioning the interpersonal dynamics of as the source of the dysfunction. I see what you're saying about just making it about WGA stuff. The central issue is about their behavior, for sure. Truly am so sorry I made that remark about our tiny bedroom and our shitty Airbnb. I think back on it now, referencing that it was bad for sex, and just realizing that is way inappropriate to say. No, did Jenny Slate make a comment about something being bad for sex? And now she's decided it's inappropriate? Is anyone filing a lawsuit? And I hope that you know that I know that it wasn't the setting for that kind of remark. And also, now knowing that you guys sleep as a fam, it must have just seemed like such a bummer judgment. I'm so sorry. I definitely have no judgment on it, but I'm sure it seemed that way. Real bed is just what works for me. not at all trying to say it's what we should all be doing. Wish I had not said that. And as you say, we move on. But I do want you to know that I remember it and regret it. So sorry if I made you feel upset. Lively. Oh my gosh. No worries at all. I mean it. At all, at all. You do not need to revisit anything that's been said. That's so generous of you to say this, but so not necessary. Please don't stress about any of it. Oh my God. Well, she couldn't give this kind of leniency to Justin Baldoni. The truth is, dynamics are different with men and women, and there is a safety with women that there isn't for men. Right. So, yeah, I was right. So they are what they're basically agreeing to is if them as women say it, it's fine. But Jamie Heath and Justin Baldoni cannot say it because they're men, and it's different. So when it comes to anyone making any of this crap gendered, Blake Lively and Jenny Slate are the ones who are doing that. Also, they had screwed you on your living situation and you had to ask for something better. So, casually making a joke about sex was likely a subconscious way of playing to your audience. What audience? If the guy who could authorize moving could empathize, then you and your family would be out of there. It all tracks. Also, in the moment, it actually wasn't you that was strange, it was Justin. You didn't know we all sleep in the bed together. He did. And when you said that, he said, oh, yeah, terrible for sex. Oh my God. That is a hanging offence. So I did, I had seen this kind of message before. And I did put on X. Do you know what? Let's use the X. Okay. All right. So I put this up last night. Back when we discovered that Isabella Ferrer was having sleepovers with Blake Lively, where they shared the bed, was cringe enough. Right? So this is them having a sleepover. And Isabella Ferrer has said, yeah, we shared the bed. But now we know that the Lively's all sleep in the bed together. So I did wonder, where did Isabella Ferrer sleep during those sleepovers? Just curiosity. I don't know how big their apartment is or anything, but I found that particularly odd. I would hope it wasn't in the bed with, Lively, Ryan, and all four of the kids. But we are now finding out that actually Lively and Reynolds and their kids all share the bed together. Now, co-sleeping, no problem with that. I have my youngest in the bed with me. It helps me because I can monitor her blood glucose levels, and she has an NG tube, so I can monitor that, and if she's having nighttime feeds, etc., etc. There's purpose for it, and I just like having my baby with me. It's nice. So it suits some families, no problem. But like kind of from the context of Isabella Ferrer and Blake Lively, going on what Isabella Ferrer said, had sleepovers where they shared a bed. Now that was weird enough at the time anyway. But I think, my question was well, yeah, but Blake Lively we now know shares a bed with her entire family. So where exactly did they put Isabella Ferrer? Okay. It's okay. So they continue. So also in the moment, it actually wasn't you that was strange. It was JB. You didn't know we all sleep in bed together. He did. And when you said that, he said, oh yeah, terrible for sex. It was so odd that he said that instead of just laughing like I did. He's always trying to be liked, so joining makes sense to him. But it's still something I clocked on his part. Because we all sleep in the same bed, obviously. And he knows. I almost made a joke about what you do instead as a workaround. But I thought, no, that's not only appropriate, and that's not only that That's that. Not only appropriate, but not relevant. And he's the only one who would even know why I'm saying that. And he doesn't deserve my causal defensiveness. Slate, blah. I've been shaking my head about it all morning. Oh God, these girls really overthink shit. I guess I was just trying to make some sort of joke, sort of at my own expense. But yes, I think you're right that subliminally it was a message. There's no way to get an Airbnb in these neighborhoods for the amount of money that they allotted me. She was doing a few days. I think it was 4 days of filming, might have been 7, but that was it. But then when you shared that you guys do a family bed, my heart just sank. It's a huge lesson learned on my part, and thank you for being so forgiving and understanding. And Justin is so weird for jumping on that joke. If he knew anything about your family dynamic, he's so volatile and desperate. Then she edits the same message, right? Okay. So I sat down with Alex and was very open with her about all the stuff, Jamie's initial comments, Justin's recording, and his later comment and his fussy attitude. My feeling that the work is really suffering, and that as an actual feminist, I'm concerned and offended by the way he's so far off the mark. Can I just point out, right? Huffy, retaliatory, toxic was how they described Justin's attitude when they called him out over the sexy hot comment. Now it's just fussy. Details matter. I'm a bit of a stickler on details, but it matters. Wording does matter. I told her that I really wanted her to be aware and that things just really needed to become way more professional, and she agreed on all. Lively, amazing. Do you feel good? Also, so sorry you're dealing with any of this. That's not what movie making should be. Okay. Um, 50. Okay, so these messages are Blake Lively and Jenny Slate, dated 6th of June 2023. Slate, how's it feeling over there? I must admit, I'm a little edgy. Lively, it's fine vibe wise, but the work is a mess. We have no leader. She keeps banging on about a leader. Slate, oh brother. At least there's no happiness. I guess that's better. I got a very succinct letter from Justin via Alex. Did you get one of those? Okay, so that's the 1st of June. Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, 19th of July, 2023. Hey, says Blake Lively. Hey, I hope you and your family are well. I watched the selects you sent. So great. I was so happy and energized. Such solid work from everyone on and off camera. It was really cool to see. We were working so quickly, there was never time to look back. It was so nice to revisit from an audience's perspective. Please let me know who to reach out to get access to the full gallery of dailies. I'm so looking forward to seeing all we have in the can. And of course, any scenes you cut together, I'd love to see. Hope you're having a good summer and hopefully a good edit. Will your assembly be done soon? Okay. More text messages. Okay. Warren Zavala, Sophia Travaglia, and Blake Lively, 28th into the 30th of August 2023. Lively. Yikes. Maybe he should send me the whole assembly then, because what I saw was terrifying. She just sent Justin a message saying it was great. It made me want to get out of the movie. Zavala, totally. That's why I think you should see it. Let's discuss tomorrow. Lively. No one has offered. He's actually been super protective and strange about even letting me see more dailies of other scenes. An actress has no right to see dailies. Lively. I thought I was a producer. No, you're an executive producer. That's that's a different thing. He said he said no one had dailies but Alex and Jamie, which we know isn't true. Zavala, Alex mentioned that he had sent you some footage. I told her I hadn't heard that, but I'm flagging that they're happy with the assembly. The smart thing to do is preemptively show you what they've seen, not a portion. Lively, he sent a scene. That's not what her text said to Justin. What was her response to that? Oh my god. Zavala, otherwise you'll wonder why you didn't get all of it. She agreed, but I told her I would talk to you and get back to her. Alex Sachs agreed that Blake Lively should get the dailies. In her text message to Justin Baldoni, she said no, she can't have them. She shouldn't have them. Because Justin Baldoni come back and said, Blake's asking for the dailies. I'm trying not to give it to her. What do you guys think? And Alex Sachs was one of the producers that said no. They both said no, but Alex Sachs said no, that's a no from me. But according to Warren Zavala, Alex Sachs is texting him and saying, yeah, I agree, Blake should get the dailies. Like, these are all just talking shit to each other. Everyone's lying. Lively. There's nothing to get back to. They should show me the movie. I'm an EP and they need me to be engaged in this thing during production and impress. His entire sales pitch is how collaborative he is and how much he values women. Yet they're not going to allow me to see the movie. She didn't let him see the movie before it went to fucking premiere. I've never not been invited into the edit room for my opinion, much less had to beg to see additional scenes of dailies. His promises of how he works so far have proven to be empty, and I'm not going to engage with the film if this is the way they play it. Zavala edited. And then she keeps editing that message about that she's just, oh my god. Lively. I thought I had a typo, but then I didn't. BC. And then she sends something. Zavala, it's process. I told her I hadn't spoken to you about it, made the suggestion. Like all things, I'm going to have to call and say, yeah, he only sent her a scene. It's the smart thing to just send it all to her. Lively, do not give her anything. No opinion, no take. You can simply say she didn't say if Alex asks what I thought, just that I saw one scene. Okay, they're going to be stupid. And I predict having to make the request prior to any further work at some point. Hope I'm wrong. Lively, I think he's stupid right back. But she's an EP. Am I missing something? But he's a collaborative filmmaker who does TED Talks, podcasts about valuing all the women in his life. That's not true. Vogue asking me to commit to a cover for this thing. No way I'm doing any of that without seeing it. I may pass. Zavala, they're going to show it to you. I just hope they're preemptive. Lively. When I told him before he and Jamie said they don't do who Anna Wintour is, or if that's a big deal, but it sounds like maybe it is, but they don't know that stuff. And she sends something. She keeps sending some. These are gifts, I'm guessing. Zavala, I told Alex you're going to have notes prior to any additional photography. Do the smart thing. Lively, they're all clowns. I have my HR report ready to go also, FYI. No, she didn't. And then someone, what is this? Lively, brilliant work, Zavala. Zavala, every once in a while, thank you. And then Sophie Travaglia laughed at an image. So, oh, God. Oh, her messages are the worst. Right, okay, I'm going to move on to a third part, I think. Yeah, I'll do a third part because we're at close to an hour again.